Once upon a time there was a man in early 1900s. He was a crack addict, full of depression. He has lost his family and friends. He was left alone and was on the brink to commit suicide. He had a major blow when he lost his father whom he adored much. One day while he made his final decision to give up his life, yet he decides to take final stroll of each and every room in his house. On taking the tour of his house, he went into a secret chamber in his house built to shelter during the wars. This secret chamber had a library which had a lot of artifacts and old books. There was a book in the library named Do You Wish to Go Back in Time? He immediately pulled up the book. To his surprise he could only see 10 blank pages on the book. Reading the title of the book he began to remember the days where he wanted to go and change the choices he made, that cost him so much. He had a pen by his side and he began to write the day when he was in class 5. It was him in class 5 when he was abused by some senior class boys, making him cripple and afraid to step out in the open places. He developed a fear which haunted him for almost all his teen years, and in self-defense, he became a person who was distant and so rude to everyone around. He went to the day exactly when this incident happened in the past. It was the book that transported him exactly to this place in the past. He immediately changed his choice in the past and changed everything that caused a lot of mental and traumatic experiences into a peaceful experience. He was set free from the severe trauma he faced due to his class 5 incident. He returns to his present and was healed of the mental illness he suffered. He spent 2 pages of the book. Now he only had 8 pages left. He began to think about his next major flaw he committed in the past. He began to write about the time when it was him looking for another woman while betraying his wife and his children, only to know that this woman would ruin his life and make him lose a lot of money and his family. He wrote on the book and he reached in the day and did not chase her anymore. Only to find him in better conditions in his present with his family. He was in the day where it all began. It was one day while returning to home he felt condemned as he was unable to provide for family. It was just bare minimum to survive. He felt deeply condemned. He went back home and shouted at his wife. The man stood in his past and was sorrowful. Now he seized himself from losing at his wife. He was peaceful with his family, and when he returned in the future, he was united with his family. Now he had only 3 pages left. He came back to the future, in the library, and found himself relieved, and now he began to write his last amendment that he wanted to make in his life. He wrote about the day when he made up his mind to drug himself and turned into a goon. He reached that day in the past and stopped himself from taking the drugs and even visiting the club that day. While he was writing all the things, he fell asleep, and after he woke up and saw that all the pages were erased and all that was good had fallen apart and everything became the same. In the end, the last page of the book: the choices once made cannot be mended. It's better to forgive oneself and forget the past and let the future hold its newness. The man realized that it is impossible to change the past, but the life has given him another chance to improve and amend whatsoever he wants to change in his life. He returned to his senses and began to change his behavior, and one day he went back to his family, and his wife loved him so much that she would pray about him, and he returned, and this was the sweetest reunion of the family. And now the love, the reinstitution of the position of him being a good husband and his compassionate wife, led him to stop and seize his addiction. The restoration was so powerful and exceedingly good that his desire to live has grown stronger and stronger. Life became sweeter than wine which intoxicated him every day, and he lived every day like the days of heaven upon the earth.